Hey guys, this is Matt from ProGuides. Today, I'm bringing you a B-split strategy for Mirage, and I'll be breaking down how you can achieve this successfully. Just bear in mind, you're going to need to know two different smoke lineups. But don't worry too much, I'll be showing you how they're done. So without further ado, let's start off by looking at the smokes that are required and how to do them. The first smoke we're going to need is for window, which can be done straight away in T-spawn. Stand in the corner by this bin. Then, look towards the door on this wall. You'll notice a cross type pattern on the door. Just aim on the right side of it like so. Once you're lined up, make sure you're holding D on your keyboard, and then use your jump throw binding. If you've done this correctly, you should pretty much end up on the top of the bin next to you. For the second smoke, you're going to be smoking top connector. This time, crouch in the corner by this bin. Then, aim at the top right corner of the left window on this wall. From here, you're going to crouch forward and use your jump throw binding once your crosshair hits the top of this railing. Obviously, if you're doing both of these smokes, you'll end up doing them in the same place. So feel free to do a top connector smoke from top middle, or just a completely different lineup for window. The first Molotov you're going to want to use is for connector, early in the round to deny any aggression. This can be done by standing roughly anywhere at the corner of this wall, then aiming at the top part of this wall like so. The good thing about this Molotov is it stops any aggressive AWPers peeking, as the Molotov even spreads to the bottom part of the steps. Moving on to Flashbangs, here's one to use when taking short control from catwalk. Stand in the corner of this box at top middle. Then, aim at the corner of this wall and throw when you're ready. Now you're quite exposed from this angle, so make sure window is still smoked and that your two teammates close on catwalk are holding connector before they peek short. The other smoke you'll need to know is for kitchen window. Stand in this corner of B-apps. Then, aim at the top corner of this large building just in front of you. Once you're lined up, use your jump throw binding. This smoke is critical as it denies an enemy AWPer from watching your cross through B-apps, and also the cross from short, which is where your other three teammates are coming from. The second Molotov is for balcony, which I hope doesn't require me to really show you how to do, as it's just the case of judging this yourself. You can also choose to Molotov van instead of balcony, but this is situational, as I'm not going to know if the CTs are peeking balcony or van more often. You judge this yourself. Your second flashbang is entirely optional, but I would advise using it. Just simply run and throw the flashbang so it bounces off the top part of this wall, causing it to bounce out of the window and blind players below window and at jail. The only time I wouldn't advise using this is if your teammates are already up short, as quite clearly you don't want to blind your teammates. Here's how the strategy will play out in B-apps. The first player smokes market window, pretty much instantly, and flashes over the top of the roof, so that his teammate can throw the Molotov without the risk of being AWPed. In this scenario, both players flashed out of the window, which isn't technically necessary, but they're just being thorough. Once the utility has been thrown, they jump out of the window and proceed to clearing the bomb site. Just make sure that when you're jumping out of the window, you're receiving support from the rest of your teammates from short. You want to make sure you're trading each other after all. For the other three players heading towards middle, start off by smoking window and connector as previously shown. The third player's job is to instantly sprint top middle, to then throw the Molotov towards connector to deny any aggression. With either one or two simple flashes out top middle, two players head up catwalk with one holding short for any peeking CTs, and the other one holding connector, to ensure no one pushes through the smoke. Your third player's job is to flash short with the flash I've shown you previously. Once you've thrown the flash, sprint up catwalk and join the rest of your teammates from B-apps that are splitting onto the site. Now obviously, there's multiple ways in which you can take the B site. This Mirage B split is only one variation which I'm showing you. A lot of this is situational of how the CTs are playing the game. If the CTs have been continually pushing aggressively top middle, I wouldn't suggest running this strat, as your B split would likely get shut down in the first 15 seconds of the round from an aggressive top mid push. You may also decide to switch some of these smokes up. For example, you may not want to do the window smoke as you might have a teammate with an AWP that has a good spawn to peek middle. I'd suggest doing this strategy on a round you want to switch up the pace to catch your opponent off guard. If you've been playing defaults and slow for 3 rounds in a row, switch it up and do this one. You'll likely catch them by surprise. But just to add on to this, timings are everything. You don't want to be peeking B apps if you have the bomb, as it will cause a CT rotation to B. You also don't want to be 3 up short if your teammates are still at the back of B apps, as they won't have cleared apps or balcony for you. Communication is key for timing. But let's just do a quick recap. 2 of the 3 players going towards top middle are going to smoke top connector, and they're also going to smoke window. The 1 remaining mid player that's not smoking is going to sprint to top middle straight away to then throw a Molotov towards connector. Then, one of you are going to hold back at top middle to then flash short for the other 2 players that are up catwalk. For both players heading towards B apps, one of your jobs is to smoke market window pretty much straight away, flash over the top of B apps, and then flash out of the window. If you're the second B apps player, your job is to simply wait at the end of B apps for your teammate to flash over. Once the flash has been thrown, just throw a Molotov towards balcony or van. From here, you're going to push out of the window to then join the rest of your team coming up short. Just make sure that when you're splitting onto the B site from apps and short, that you do it well timed. You don't want to be pushing out of apps if your teammates are still on catwalk, as you'll have very limited trade potential. And that's how you do a B split on Mirage. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, for more tips and tricks like this, be sure to check out ProGuides.com. I've been Matt, and you've been great.